Okay, so we hear a lot about AI coding assistants, right? But imagine one that doesn't just write code snippets. Imagine it planning your entire project roadmap.
Yeah, queuing up tasks for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even, get this, automatically tackling those awful merge conflicts we all hate.
That sounds almost too good to be true, but yeah.
Well, that's pretty much the promise with Cursor's big 1.2 update. It just landed July 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we're doing a deep dive. We want to look at how this really shifts things for AI-assisted development. It's moving, from just reacting to actually being a strategic partner.
A co-pilot.
Oh, yeah, a co-pilot.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack, I think, 5 key features that could really change your coding workflow, plus some nice performance bumps, too.
And it's important to stress this isn't just another minor update. This feels significant.
Why do you say that? What makes it stand out?
Well, for a long time, these AI assistants, they were powerful, sure, but they felt reactive, like incredibly smart interns, maybe.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that type.
Right. They were great at executing specific commands, write this function, debug this piece, but they didn't really have foresight. They didn't grasp the bigger picture, the project context, or manage complicated workflows on their own.
Lacked initiative, maybe.
Something like that. Cursor 1.2 feels like a core shift. The AI is moving from just being a fast worker to being a proactive strategic partner. It fundamentally changes how you, the developer, interact with the AI, pushing the boundaries, really.
Okay, proactive partner. So if the old AI was that reactive intern, what does proactive actually look like when you're coding?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Yeah, and it brings us straight to the first feature that really jumped out at me, agent planning. With these structured to-do lists, from your angle, what does thinking ahead actually mean for an AI here? How does it show up in these lists?
Yeah, it's a great point because it really gets to the core of it. Before, you might ask an AI, implement user authentication,
Yeah.
and it might just start spitting out code for like one part of that.
Right, just dive straight in.
Exactly. Like that intern sprinting off without the full plan. Now, with agent planning, Cursor's AI sort of takes a step back. It asks itself, okay, what needs to happen before this? What's the logical order? Are there dependencies?
Ah, okay. Like a mini project manager.
Precisely. So you ask it to implement user auth, and it doesn't just code. First, it generates this structured to-do list. And that list might map out, okay, first, set up the middleware, then create the registration endpoints, then implement login, logout, make sure password hashing is solid, set up session management, and then crucially, write the tests for all of it.
So it actually plans the steps.
Yes, and the really brilliant part is the dependency tracking baked in. The agent gets that you can't properly test something before it's well built. It sequences tasks logically, like a seasoned PM breaking down a big feature.
That transparency, wow. I can see how just breaking it down like that helps the developer think it through too. But what about, for teams? What are the implications there?
Oh, huge implications for project management, for team coordination. Transparency is gold in teams, right? And these AI-generated lists, they aren't just for you.
Okay.
They can stream directly into Slack channels, for instance.
Oh, interesting.
So the whole team can see in real time what the AI is working on, its progress, maybe spot bottlenecks or dependencies early. It kind of shifts the project manager's focus, maybe. Less granular task breakdown, more high-level strategy and coordination.
Managing by exception almost.
Yeah, exactly. Let the humans focus on the tricky stuff. Let the AI handle the plan and report progress. It helps the whole team understand and coordinate. That's the shift.
Okay, that makes sense. And speaking of coordinating work and staying focused, that flow state, how often, and I know this happens to me, you have a great idea or you spot a critical bug, but the AI is churning away on something else.
Ugh, yes, and your thought just evaporates while you wait.
Totally. Like trying to remember a dream. That's where this next feature, queued messages, sounds like, well, a lifesaver.
It really is. I think this is workflow optimization done right. It directly helps you stay in that zone, that flow state.
Yeah.
Because the reality of development is you're juggling a lot, right? Information overload is real. Before, if the AI was busy generating a big chunk of code or running analysis, you're stuck. You wait, maybe lose your train of thought, or you switch tasks, which costs time later.
Context switching, the productivity killer.
Exactly. Queued messages just cuts through that. You can type your next instruction, your follow-up question, whatever, even while the agent is still working. hit send, boom, it's in the queue.
So you don't lose the idea.
You don't lose the idea. It acknowledges that problem solving isn't always linear. Ideas pop up.
Yeah.
This lets the AI interaction match that, slightly chaotic human way of thinking. The AI becomes less of a bottleneck, more like an extension of your own thought process.
And the kicker, which I really like, is you can drag and drop to reorder the queue.
Yes.
So if that bug fix suddenly seems way more important than the feature idea you just had, you just drag it up.
That reordering is crucial. It means the AI's work aligns with your immediate mental priority. You're not just dumping tasks. You're actively managing your focus, making sure the most critical thing gets tackled next. It's subtle, but really powerful for daily productivity.
Okay, so the AI can plan ahead, and it can queue up tasks for the immediate future. What about remembering things long term? That brings us to memories, which was in beta, but now it's generally available. How does this long-term memory bank actually help day to day?
Right, memories going GA is a big deal. But the key thing isn't just that it remembers, it's how it remembers and that it's controlled.
Controlled memory, what do you mean?
Think of it as the AI learning your specific coding style, your project's architecture, even just your preferences over time. It learns from how you code. But, and this is vital, it asks for permission.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't just silently absorb everything. If it notices a pattern, a decision, an architectural choice you made, it might proactively ask, hey, should I remember this pattern for future use?
So it prompts you.
Yes. User approval for background-generated memories, that preserves trust, which is just critical when you're dealing with sensitive code or proprietary stuff. You wouldn't want the AI remembering and maybe reusing some secret sauce without you knowing.
Definitely not. That's a huge relief, actually.
And the UI for managing these memories, reviewing, approving, deleting them is much slicker now. It's intuitive right there in the editor. It really reinforces that you're in control. You're the ultimate authority on your codebase's IP.
That user control is key. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Debugging, code reviews, always room for improvement there. You mentioned PR indexing and search. What's that about?
Right. This is fantastic for team knowledge and just finding stuff later. Cursor now indexes and summarizes your pull requests, just like it indexes files.
Okay, so what does that let you do?
It lets you search your PR history semantically. So imagine you're wrestling with some weird bug. You have this vague memory. Someone fixed something similar months ago, but who? Which PR?
Yeah, happens all the time. Endless scrolling through GitHub.
Exactly. Now you can just search for something like fix for authentication timeout bug, and Cursor will find the relevant PRs along with the GitHub comments, the reviews, the whole discussion context.
Wow. So it understands the meaning, not just keywords.
Precisely. It even pulls in insights from things like bug-bot reviews and supports Slack agent queries about PRs. It makes digging into past decisions, doing postmortems, or just understanding why something was built that way incredibly fast. It basically turns your Git history into a searchable, intelligent knowledge base. Huge time saver.
No kidding. That sounds amazing. And speaking of speed, let's quickly hit those performance boosts in 1.2.
Yeah.
You mentioned things like milliseconds. Do they really make a difference?
They absolutely do. Look, on paper, 100 milliseconds faster tab completion or time to first token being 30% faster, that's how quickly the AI starts responding might seem small.
Yeah, tiny numbers.
But they add up massively over a day. It's about reducing friction. These came from things like restructuring memory management, optimizing data transfer. It all leads to a smoother, less distracting experience.
Like getting rid of tiny lags.
Exactly. Think of it like driving a car with a tiny engine stutter versus one that's perfectly smooth. Those micro pauses, those little waits, they constantly break your focus. Eliminating them helps you stay in that deep work state, that flow state we keep talking about. It's less waiting for the tool, more thinking and coding.
Makes sense. Less cognitive friction.
Yeah.
Okay, now, the big one. Expert, be honest, is there anything worse than merge conflicts?
Maybe finding out production is down on a Friday night. But merge conflicts are right up there, that sinking feeling.
Right. It just grinds everything to a halt.
Yeah.
So Cursor's new feature, automated merge conflict resolution. Is this the dream, or do we need to be super careful?
It's definitely a game changer for the common tedious conflicts, but yeah, caution is still needed.
Okay.
So you hit a merge conflict. Usually that means stopping everything, painstakingly going line by line, trying to figure out the changes, who did what, how to combine them without breaking everything.
The worst kind of puzzle.
Totally. Cursor's agent can now try to fix these for you. There's a resolve and chat option. It looks at the context, and it intelligently suggests solutions.
Intelligently suggests.
Right. Now, crucially, this isn't a blank check to just accept on everything the AI does. Human review is still absolutely essential, especially for complex merges or anything touching core architecture.
So don't just trust it blindly.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But having the AI do the heavy lifting on the simpler, more common conflicts, understanding the changes, proposing smart fixes, that saves a massive amount of time. It handles the noise, the tedious stuff, so you can focus your brain power on the really critical decisions. It's like having a first pass done for you.
Okay, handling the noise so humans focus on the complex bits. I like that framing. And this ties into improvements for background agents. What are those and how do they help?
Right. Background agents are basically AI processes running quietly behind the scenes, handling routine stuff.
Like housekeeping.
Sort of, yeah. Continuous tasks, monitoring. And with 1.2, they're much better integrated. For example, PRs generated by agents now automatically follow your team's templates. Consistency, right?
Nice.
Changes made on agent branches get auto-pulled. If there are conflicts, like a rebase is needed, it doesn't just fail silently, it flags it as something actionable the AI can help with.
Okay, less hidden problems.
Exactly. And you can commit directly from the sidebar now, which many find faster. So these agents become more predictable, more resilient, they fit better into team workflows, follow the rules.
Makes them more reliable team members in a way.
Precisely. And for remote teams, the enhanced Slack and web deep links are great. They can open the repo directly, even if you don't have it open locally. It really helps with seamless collaboration when people are spread out.
Okay, before we wrap, anything else? Those quality of life improvements that maybe don't make headlines, but, smooth things out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The unsung heroes. VS Code is updated to 1.99, so you get all the latest goodies from the base editor. Extensions are now hosted on OpenVSC, good for compatibility. The Slack agent integration feels snappier, more performance tuning under the hood for indexing and vector stuff, making everything feel fast, better connection stability for remote work. And importantly, they squash some key bugs, memory leaks, chat rendering glitches, token auth issues.
The annoying stuff.
For really annoying stuff. It might not sound glamorous, but fixing those stability issues is huge for just having a reliable, less frustrating day. Less friction, more coding.
Okay, so summing it up then. Cursor 1.2 feels like a really substantial leap. We've got agent planning, where the AI actually thinks ahead and makes a task list.
Like strategic planning.
Queued messages, so you don't lose your thoughts while it's working.
Maintaining that flow.
Memories go in GA, but with crucial user control over what it remembers.
Smart, controlled memory.
PR indexing, making your whole history searchable. And automated merge conflict resolution, tackling that common pain point.
Handling the tedious conflicts.
It really feels like the shift from AI being just reactive to being proactive, planning, queuing, remembering, integrating better with the team.
Yeah, it's becoming that true co-pilot.
So what's the final thought for people listening? Where does this point?
Well, I think the big picture here is this move towards seamless, intelligent partnership between humans and AI in development. These tools aren't just about making old tasks faster. They're enabling a whole new level of collaborative intelligence.
Collaboration with the AI.
Exactly. You're not just coding alone anymore. You're leveraging an AI partner that boosts your creativity, cuts down the mental load, helps you manage complexity. So the provocative thought is, what new kinds of problems, what bigger challenges can you start tackling now that your primary assistant can anticipate, plan, and manage right alongside you? It really opens up possibilities beyond what one person could achieve alone.